Many people are curious about the aliens. So, in order to explain this phenomenon, I would like to maybe study their psychology. Life in the universe is not much different than life on Earth. It's everywhere. Scientists and telescopes have observed already that there's many exoplanets, and many of them are livable. We know already that there's life in many planets. Still, as far as life in the universe is the same as what we can encounter on Earth, prosperous, intelligence on Earth is rare, and it's pretty much the same across the universe. Few species are intelligent. Still, there's a peculiarity on Earth, which is that our planet has a moon. It's livable and it has a moon. This moon is the result of a collision of another planet against Earth during the primal formation on Earth billions of years ago, and it was at the size of Mars. And the result is this moon. But this collision did produce the warming up of the magma inside the planet. Then one of the results is the moon is exerting an influence through Earth, through this phenomenon of tides towards the sea, but these tides is influencing the terrestrial crust as well. The Earth is the level of Earth by itself, and the soil is moving about 50 meters, but we cannot see through the naked eye. So the result is the drifting of the continents. India did separate from Africa and drifts and collides Asia, and then it was the source of the birth of this channel of mountains such as the Himalaya. Same things with Italy, which is literally pelting through Europe, and you have this phenomenon of mountains, the Alps. Because of all these mountains and the different of level in each part on Earth, we have very different ecosystems, different biodiversities, different climates, therefore different races, different languages, different appearances, different behaviors and way of thinking. It's not necessarily the same in the exoplanets. We can imagine a life, we would prosper, but as far as it wouldn't be hosting a moon, there wouldn't be this phenomenon of tides, there wouldn't be this phenomenon of drifting of continents, and the level of the surface of this livable planet would be very flat. It means that an intelligent intelligent alien species would be most likely homogeneous. They will all have the same language, because there wouldn't be these barriers of different ecoclimates and mountains and so on. So we can imagine that these species would spread all along the planet. Therefore, there would be only one race. They would pretty much all like the same face. They would all have the same language. There wouldn't be such much difference of specificities of culture. and mindset. As well, there would be way less species. Earth is quite unique in the way that it probably has 500 times more species than in these other planets. Can I imagine as well that in such conditions the aliens would find our species very strange and very hard to understand, in the way that this constant adaptation of a human, of mankind, leads to the fact that even if the brain of human, the encephal, is very animalistic, still this constant adaptation would lead the human to have a direct link to some spiritual frequency, higher frequencies. The routine of the life of the aliens and the lack of adaptation would lead them to evolve spiritually very slowly. Of course, as far as an alien culture in a single planet would be very homogeneous, they wouldn't have this culture of war. They all look like the same. They all speak the same language. They all behave on the same way. So the culture of peace would be a norm. They would find very strange that all these humans are battling to each other all the time. As well, the development of an alien culture would mean that their brain and their encephal wouldn't be as animalistic as ours. They wouldn't have two brains, one left brain and one right brain, but most likely, like the dolphins for instance, that would add only one single homogeneous brain. It means as well that they wouldn't have this unbalance between the rational intelligence and the emotional intelligence. All the feelings would be homogeneous. As far as we have this imbalance between our rational and emotional brain and this quick rising, spiritual rising, in spite of the fact as the human encephal is very animalistic, there's a huge part of unconscious mind in the human spirit, which wouldn't necessarily be the case with the alien. They may have, we can imagine it, 10% of unconscious, and 90% of their mind and perception would be plenty conscious of itself. But one of the conclusions would be that the alien then, even if through their development would be inclined to be comfortable to use telepathy instead of vocal communication, their lack of unconscious mind and this slow and graduated development would lead them to have a total lack of sense of humor. So then here is the conclusion. How can you trust a species which doesn't have any sense of humor and wouldn't be able to produce jokes and memes?